Corey, what does this opportunity mean to this team? It's not often West Finals are hosted here in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. I think for us, we're just grateful to be playing and have the opportunity to play in this game. But I think most importantly for our fan base, man, to be able to have this game here, this fan base deserves everything. So the fact that we can go out there on game day and they can come in droves and put on the green and white and cheer for their team, that's awesome.
Back at your introductory press conference, you mentioned you want this team to represent this province, hardworking, blue collar, hard hitting. It's going to be cold this weekend. Is this a perfect game to kind of show that off?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is that's what you envision if you can get to get to host this game. I've only spent 2 years here, but it's probably going to be pretty cold. So yeah, that's perfect. That's football weather. That's the way we look at it. So awesome.
Are you picking the Rams or the Huskies in the Hardy Cup?
Man, I'm picking Saskatchewan's team. You know what, though? What I will say is obviously you got friends, McConkey and Bruce Anderson that coach, and Stusik that coach over at U of R, and shared text messages congratulating Daniel and Seth on their awards. So it's tough, man. I'm cheering for, but same as it was when we had the Hilltops and the Thunder. With the team we came and took that game in tough. People on them both sides. So hell of a game. As long as there's a representative from Saskatchewan, I think the province wins.
Coach, I know it's a three-phase game. We haven't talked a lot about your special teams this year, who I think have performed very well. What's your assessment?
Yeah, exactly that. We got so many guys, truthfully, that might be playing offense or defense on other teams, but they take such pride in what they do and their role for our team. We don't take it lightly. We champion that kind of play. But specifically in these types of games, cold weather games, field position, potentially creating explosive plays, turnovers in rough conditions. A lot of those come on special teams and happen in big games. So those guys know it. They're dialed. They've been dialed all year, and looking forward to seeing them go out and play.
Speaking with Nick Weeb, he said, we just got to be physical. Is it as simple as that?
I mean, that's a big part of it. I'll tell you what, I probably could have never played special teams. I don't know if I'm tough enough. Those guys they're different. You got to be a different breed, I think, to play on special teams, man. And we got a great locker room full of guys who can play a physical brand of football. But it's not, it's a big part of his physicality, but being smart and understanding your job assignment like anything else.
In BC, they're getting asked, what's the harder challenge, the crowd or the weather, given that they're an indoor team, but in your opinion, what's the bigger advantage for you guys, the crowd or the weather?
Oh, the crowd always, man. Like I said, like this facility is unbelievable. To be able to put a bunch of butts in seats and be loud and be active, it's a plus one that it's potentially a cold weather game, but you catch them on Labor Day or any other home game, it'll always be the crowd.
And how do you kind of contain Nathan Rourke, given that we've seen linebackers drop back in coverage quite a bit, but if nothing's open downfield, he'll take off. So how do you kind of balance between the two?
Yeah, it's just that, it's a healthy balance of everybody's got to know exactly where he's at on the field, but also, having to see if we can slow down that receiving core as well. And then, our D-line's got to also do a good job of making sure that, you keep him from ruining the game with his feet. But, he's an incredible athlete and an incredible quarterback. So whether he's staying in the pocket or he's on the move, he's shown to make unbelievable plays, man. So it's a tall task. It's not just one position group, though. It's all 12.
Yeah, how key will that interior kind of be, given how much success Calgary's interior had just creating disruption?
Yeah, I think anytime, your interior defensive line that's getting pressure through the A's and the B gaps, putting guys on the quarterback's lap, it always makes it tough, no matter who the quarterback is. But like I said, it's an all-12 thing with really good quarterbacks and really good offenses, which certainly BC is. So everybody's got a job to do, and we're looking for them to do it every play, and it's one of those chasing perfection joints. Might not get it, but we're going to keep trying to chase it.
Where you've been part of East Finals, West Finals, Grey Cups. What's it like the morning of a big game like that to wake up? Is it any different than a typical day?
It's excitement. I just I would say now coming kind of on the coaching side of things, and you physically, it's like, oh man, am I gonna puke today? I don't know. I don't have to deal with that, but it's just pure excitement. You still, even regular season game days, you get those pregame jitters, and my wife will tell you it's 8 hours before kickoff. I'm pretty quiet. So you're constantly thinking about the game, and our guys, I would imagine, is the same, but everybody's different. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's just you're kind of laser focused on the task at hand.
Does it feel any different when it's a must-win as opposed to regular season game where, as much as you want to win, there's a game the next week?
Yeah, I, to be honest, I want to say no. We are so just kind of hell-bent on the 1-0 thought process that, we kind of treat them all like must-wins for ourselves. And that's why I think, if it didn't turn out our way throughout the season, guys they're upset, So since I think we've kind of bred that into our brains and into our souls, man, it's the approach I think would be pretty similar.
How important is that as far as just not letting the game or the magnitude of the game consume the preparation aspect, especially on game day and when players are getting kind of tuned in mentally?
Yeah, I think it's per each individual. I've been on teams where you gas it up and your team needs that, and sometimes I've been on teams where it's just like, hey, it's just another football game. So I think it's just temperature of the room, and really for each individual player. But you get out there, you got the spider cam hanging, crowds are going crazy, you got tons of ads, more media. It's just the environment you're in. Hey, this is a little bit different than a regular season game, but when the ball's snapped, it's football. So somewhere in between.